Well, thanks so much for joining us here at noon. I'm Felicia Lawrence alongside meteorologist Sean Ash, and it is a beautiful day. So much sun, and it is warm.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can feel it this morning. We'll be close to 50 this afternoon. It's hard to imagine a few days removed from the bitterness. Tomorrow, though, at this time, we're going to be back in the rain, and it's going to be a pretty windy day.
Ooh. Let's
just take today and run with it. It is a great one. Let me show you what's happening here around central Indiana. Glorious stuff. We're at 44 now. Got you at 44 in Carmel, 44 in Bainbridge, Greensburg. Good afternoon. Checking in at 45 degrees here. 38 Monticello, almost 50 this hour in Columbus, as well as Seymour and Bedford. And you take that map, compare it to 24 hours ago, we continue to warm up. Anywhere from 5 to as much as 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. And a lot of spots will hit, or at least come close to hitting 50 degrees. Clouds a little more bark than bite initially. That is going to change as we go into tomorrow morning. We will have some showers. It's going to be a steady breeze ramping up tonight and some areas of fog and mist. The teeth of the rain will come in after the morning bus stop, though it is going to be damp at times, and after your morning commute. We're going to detail how much rain to expect, the wind potential tomorrow, and a balmy setup as we go into Christmas all ahead.
All right, Sean, thanks so much. And this afternoon, the sentencing is underway for a man connected to a 2023 officer-involved shooting. 38-year-old Antoine Beach was found guilty back in November of unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon. According to court docs, officers were at the gas station for another investigation, and that's when someone notified them that a man in the parking lot had an active warrant for his arrest. IMPD officers say they saw a gun and that Beach began reaching for the gun. That's when an officer fired. According to IMPD, the officer who fired the shot did not have his body cam activated. A second officer did activate his body camera after the shooting. An Indy man is facing multiple charges for allegedly killing his father and injuring his mother. Charges against 54-year-old Brian Pettigo include attempted murder and battery. This is scene video from that incident on December 11th. Police were called to South Catherwood Avenue around 8:30 p.m. That's when they later found a body wrapped in a rug in the home, later identified as 81-year-old John Pettigo. They also say a woman in a recliner who appeared to be unresponsive was there. Both victims had apparent injuries consistent with trauma. A Danville man is charged with attempting to share inappropriate pictures with a minor. Earlier this year, a video went viral appearing to show a popular YouTuber confronting Levi Garrett. Garrett was allegedly communicating with what he thought was a 14-year-old boy. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office says it opened an investigation after being made aware of the video. The prosecutor says an investigation found Garrett allegedly sent sexually explicit pictures to who he believed was a child. If found guilty, Garrett faces up to 2.5 years in prison. Pastors and church members are delivering a message to Governor Mike Braun. They want him to get rid of the death penalty here in Indiana. Yesterday, a group called the Indianapolis First Friends and Shalom Zone delivered more than 70 handwritten letters to the governor's office, all pushing to abolish the death penalty. Well, this effort comes as 5 men remain on Indiana's death row. The state executed 3 men in the last year, all with an injection of pentobarbital. The costly drug is difficult to obtain and has a shelf life of just 90 days. So those concerns have led some to support bringing back firing squads. But this group says the method is not the problem.
God hates the sin but loves the sinner. And that's where we are. We believe in forgiveness. And so religiously, our doctrine tells us, and this is multiple churches embraced within Shalom Zone, that we should not be in the business of killing human beings.
Governor Braun's deputy chief of staff met with the group briefly and promised a more formal conversation before the end of the year. Well, turning to the State House, Governor Braun is reflecting on his first year in office as Indiana's 52nd governor. Governor Braun sat down with our State House reporter Emily Longnecker and covered a variety of topics, including a subject that's dominated headlines the past 4 months: redistricting.
Yeah, it was just last week that we were here at the State House as the Senate took up redistricting, and we asked Governor Braun about that, but he also wanted to look ahead to some of the issues he said Hoosiers are focused on for January. Even with 21 Republican senators voting against redistricting last week, Governor Braun believes the biggest opposition to redrawing the state's congressional districts came from across the aisle. He pointed to the wide majority by which the bill passed in the House.
The loudest voice against it would have been Democrats and moderates and liberals. We think by the time the vote occurred, a large majority of Republicans and conservatives were for it.
The governor said the Senate's failure to pass redistricting gives a stark picture
Of how, half of the Senate was out of sync with most Hoosier Republicans, what was happening in other states, requests from the administration.
Braun has said he'll support primary challenges to those lawmakers who voted against redrawing the state's congressional districts. But what about the push to redraw Indiana's maps? Is it over?
I don't think that can be resurrected in this session, but I think it plays out in a broader way. But again, if you try to generalize on it, I think it's a mistake, because it's a national issue that put us out of sync with all other states, the administration, a large majority of Republicans and conservatives in this state. I think you let it rest there, and then you focus on the things we have under our control.
But what about federal funding? Could it be at risk now to the districts of Indiana lawmakers who voted no on redistricting?
That all remains to be seen. I think that it probably doesn't endear you, but I think I've got a strong enough relationship there on the critical stuff.
The governor said when it comes to redistricting, it's the same senators who voted no who should be doing the soul searching about it right now.
To me, when it comes to all the nuts and bolts of running state government, you look at those issues, you don't generalize upon this.
Longnecker and Dustin Grove, they have been covering the redistricting debate each week on Crossroads Politics, a show that you can stream those episodes anytime, and it also airs 10 a.m. on WTHR+. Now, if you look up into the sky in Hamilton County, you may see a drone, and that drone is most likely helping first responders. When you call 911 in Hamilton County, dispatchers can send a drone to your location, getting there before first responders. While in the air, the dispatchers can give other first responders real-time information as they're heading to the call. Drones have been in use by Hamilton County for more than a year, but now with artificial intelligence capabilities coming soon, these tools have the potential to be more powerful than ever. So the drones can fly at more than 100 miles an hour and can respond anywhere in the county, which is something first responders say they did not think would be possible even 5 years ago.
Those drones can simply be flown in a grid pattern and looking for a missing 3-year-old wearing a red shirt and blue jeans, and it can fly in that grid until it finds it and stay overhead and keep an eye on that 3-year-old until a patrol asset can get hands on that.
Hamilton County is testing this program out for the rest of the country. The company behind the drones tells us police solely own that data. Flight logs are public, and drone cameras stay forward facing until they reach the call.